Hey everybody, we got a question in the Facebook group, in the Replaceable Founder group, about what to do when you're reliant on a 30-year employee who's highly skilled, highly dedicated, but technophobic and resistant to change. So, the first thing there is that is a huge red flag, and the kind of thing that should keep you up at night, and something that needs to be dealt with immediately. Because if you have somebody in that position who basically has that much leverage in your company, that person is a liability. And not to say that they would ever do anything malicious or anything like that, but just by being in that position where they possess opaque information, right? Things that are not transparent, things that people don't know what the processes are, how things are done. That's a liability, because that person could get sick or decide to quit, or get hit by a bus, the cliche adage there. And then what are you going to do in that situation? So it's something that needs to be addressed without delay. And oftentimes when you have somebody who's resistant to change, it is a self-protective mechanism. I'm sorry to say, not always, but a lot of times it's because they don't want to have that change devalue them or potentially put them out of a job. And again, that type of holding on to things is something that you should see as a real enemy to your business. It doesn't matter how dedicated the person has been or how much part of the team is. That attitude is very insidious and very harmful. So the first thing to do, forgetting change or forgetting to try to get that person on board, I would take the stance of trying to figure out exactly how that person operates and what they do on a regular basis. And there are ways to do that where it doesn't seem like you're trying to do anything with an ulterior motive, and you're not. You're really trying to unearth what is it that a person is doing, because odds are, as with all of us, there's always ways we can do things more efficiently. And when you do tracking and time tracking and resource tracking and stuff, you start to learn about how things are done, and you inherently figure out ways to do things more efficiently. So rather than trying to figure out how to get that person to change, or how to get them to take on new tech or anything, I would start by really understanding what they're doing on a daily basis. And I guarantee you that the longer somebody's been there, there's probably a logarithmic curve to this, but the longer that somebody's been with a company, the amount of stuff that they're doing that they probably don't need to be doing increases like logarithmically, basically, massively. So you could have somebody who's working with you for 30 years, and it's very likely that 95% of the things that they do either don't need to be done by them or don't need to be done at all. So my way of dealing with somebody who is technophobic and change resistant is to really understand what it is that they're doing, that they're so ingrained in them, and try to make that more transparent. And sometimes through that process, we get people to understand how the change is necessary, because you might have somebody who is, I'll give you a story actually. So I was talking to somebody, I gave a talk in LA at somewhere, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 years ago. And afterwards, somebody was talking to me who owned a company, and they were explaining that they have somebody in their business who's been there for like 20 years. And basically their role was fleet logistics, right? So they were doing deliveries of something. And basically this person's job was to create optimized routes and stuff, and they were doing this all manually. And I showed them that like just a week earlier, a tool had come out that does that basically for free and automatically, and completely replaces what this person does. And ultimately that person ended up taking on more of a mentorship role and actually elevating themselves in the business to do more and help the business more. But on the face of it, this one tech solution completely replaced what this person was doing. So we have to remove that fear and have people understand that being replaceable is a good thing, because it stops you from being stuck. It stops you from staying at this level and allows you not to go out the door, but allows you to get to this level. So I hope that's helpful. Make it an effective day.